HQN Books and Harper Audio present The Magnolia Sisters by Michelle Major, performed by Carly Robbins. Chapter 1. How did any sane person survive the South's oppressive humidity? As Avery Keller surveyed the landscape surrounding the gas station just outside Magnolia, North Carolina, she tried to draw in a deep breath. It felt like sucking air from a hot oven. Thick forest bordered the concrete parking lot, the trees more the pine variety than the town's namesake. She glanced up at the water tower looming in the distance, the word Magnolia emblazoned on it in thick block letters. The bold designation mocked her, a lofty reminder that her past had been here waiting, even if she'd known nothing of it until a few days prior. Almost a week now. One late August week to process that the story of her life had been a lie, because the truth was too callous, even for her aloof and ambitious mother. Avery had struggled with her identity as the daughter of a single mom whose reckless decision had left her pregnant from a one-night stand with a nameless, random hookup. Or not so random, after all. As it turned out, Avery's father knew about her, at least enough to leave her an inheritance after he died. Maybe the humidity wasn't to blame for the prickly heat crawling under her skin. More likely the bitterness that had festered like an open sore on her cross-country trek for the reading of the will. She would have preferred to ignore the summons, to remain unaffected by the news that she wasn't the fatherless, unwanted girl she'd thought herself to be. Fatherless, no. Unwanted? Most definitely. She shoved the gas pump nozzle into the tank of her Lexus sedan and stalked toward the convenience store, needing caffeine and chocolate in equal measure. The stale air inside the shop carried the scent of hot dogs and processed nacho cheese, but it was blessedly cool. She reached for a water but changed her mind at the last moment and pulled a Diet Mountain Dew from the commercial refrigerator at the back of the store, immediately shoving the bottle under her shirt. She gasped at the bite of cold plastic against her skin.
"Normally, people drink that stuff," a deep voice said from a few feet away, "although the color's too reminiscent of antifreeze for my taste." She rolled her head to glare at whoever was offering an unwanted opinion and stifled another gasp. Over 6 feet of gorgeous man stared back at her, as if the thick brown hair, piercing green eyes, and rock-hard body weren't enough. He was wearing the crisp blue uniform of a firefighter. Avery had always been a sucker for a man in uniform, although she wasn't about to admit that now. Apparently, she didn't need to, because one side of his sexy mouth pulled up, like his effect on the fairer sex was a given. No doubt, which only fueled Avery's irritation. She'd spent the past 2.5 days on the road, steaming asphalt and satellite radio her only companions. She'd given up the guise of healthy choices midway across Missouri, and she wasn't in the mood to take crap from anyone. She made a show of studying the slim container of beef jerky dangling between his fingers. Those who live in meat-stick houses shouldn't throw stones. His half-smile widened into a full grin. "Now, darling," he drawled, "I don't even know your name. Seems a bit premature for you to be discussing my meat stick."
She felt her cheeks flame at the blatant innuendo, but managed only a lame, "in your dreams," as a response. He chuckled.
"Sorry," he said, shaking his head. "I don't get out much anymore."
"Shocker," she muttered before heading for the cash register. She added a pack of M&Ms, the peanut variety, for protein, and paid the gum-smacking attendant. Halfway to her car, Mr. Beef Jerky caught up with her.
"I really am sorry for the lousy joke," he said, matching his stride to hers. His voice was gravelly, the vowels drawn out in typical Southern fashion, and she fought the immediate prick of attraction skittering along her skin at the unnecessary apology for some silly teasing. The unsolicited bit of kindness didn't make him a decent guy and shouldn't matter either way. She was here to discover why the father she never knew had reached out to her now, when he'd never bothered.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?